It's sad to say, but like they're like, I've coached people. They're like 400 pounds. They diet down to say 250. They're still obese, but they're starving. They have no energy, no sex drive. It's not good. I'm like,
how's everyone doing? My name's Andrew Goldman. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be going over the highlights of MogCast episode number 17, and the guest was no other than Coach Greg.
no, that's stupid.
Mr. IFBB Pro, the famous Coach Greg, king of the anabolic community. But the first clip that I'm going to show you right now is Coach Greg basically saying, like, guys, I don't actually get mad. Like, you guys are just wrong. You think I'm mad, but I'm actually just not mad. So I'm going to show you that clip right now.
You grilled us for that. You were saying like we didn't watch anything.
I have a knack. I have a knack for watching people and then finding any kind of hole or weakness in their armor, and I just go after it. And I'm not even mad. Like I'm like, I wonder if people think I'm actually mad at James or Soosh for what they're saying. I'm like, I'm not mad at all. Like, I just want to make a good video response because I'm...
All right, so I just showed you the clip of Coach Greg saying he doesn't actually get mad. Like, he's not even 1% mad. Well, part of that is, like, slightly hard to believe. He's probably not mad, guys. He actually just gets into it when he starts talking about it. Like, you guys have to realize, like, when I record these YouTube videos and stuff, like, you have to, like, hype yourself up, like, get some energy going, because at the end of the day, YouTube is entertainment. People are trying to keep you on their channel, trying to keep you entertained. So that's why Coach Greg seems mad. He wants to retain his audience. He wants to keep people coming to his channel. He always says, if you bash his recipes and say they suck, he's happy that you did that. If you bring up his name, he's always happy. Any publicity is good publicity. So that's what I thought about that, guys. He's saying he's not mad at all, which is... All right, funny enough, in the beginning of the video, they say, of course, guys, we're not going to talk about the Remington drama, but they actually do address some of the Remington drama, and they did it in a really professional way. So what I want to bring up right now is them talking about the Anabar.
So I have an Anabar, and because there's fat in there and there's actual real carbs, it's satiating. It's more satiating than like a low-calorie food.
When I was eating like 2,400 calories, Greg, and I was binging at night and shit like that, and it was just terrible. And now I've kind of been able to control my appetite a little bit more, and I still fit in. I fit in like one Anabar a day.
It's about 70 more calories, and it's not that I'm against bar. Like, it's just overall, I'm trying to be as lean as humanly possible for me, which is like 9%. I have to eat almost every food I can to be as low calorie as possible so that I don't want to overeat. I have to avoid it, but it doesn't mean you can't have it. It just means if you're trying to do everything possible to lose weight, keep it off, it's going to be a little bit more difficult with that versus another bar like the Quest, for example. They're foods. You can eat a freaking Kit Kat if you want, as long as you're in a calorie deficit.
And then Soosh kind of brings up the fact that it's saying, like, Coach, I thought you're the one that say macros don't matter. Coach Greg is big on saying macros don't matter. Get your protein in and get into a caloric deficit. So this is Coach Greg's, like, bottom line. You can't really argue with what he's saying. He's saying, of course, the most important thing is get your protein in and get in a caloric deficit. Everyone agrees with that. But the problem is when you're trying to stay at a super low body fat percentage, like 9%, like Coach Greg, what he's saying is that those small things throughout the day, choosing that Anabar that doesn't really fill you up versus a Quest bar with fiber, it starts to add up. So I personally agree. If you try to do an if it fits your macro style for too long, ghrelin will start to get you guys. Because think about having like protein ice cream, anabolic French toast, all these wraps, the foods that really fill up your stomach versus getting your calories from like fries. Like think about 500 calories of French fries and then like a 500 calorie grilled chicken wrap. Like, so if you're watching this right now and you're the type of person, guy or girl, that has the bottomless pit, you want to try to eat very filling foods, but you also want to eat sometimes, like if it fits your macro style, for like a day here and there, just to not lose your mind. Like you want to get McDonald's once in a while, but you mostly want to eat filling foods. All right, so the next thing I wanted to get into was body fat percentage. So just take a listen to this clip right here.
And you're at 5% body fat, it doesn't matter how friggin' full you get, you're still hungry. So you need to raise your body fat to a point where it's like a realistic thing you can maintain. For most people, like 10 to 20%, that's where it is. For most people, there's people that will get that feeling at 30%. It's sad to say, but like they're like, I've coached people, they're like 400 pounds. They diet down to say 250. They're still obese, but they're starving. They have no energy, no sex drive. It's not good. I'm like, for your body, it's not healthy for you to keep dieting down to 15%.
All right, so the reason I wanted to show you guys that clip is I just found it like relatively interesting because I'm like, Coach Greg's over here, and you think he's telling everyone, just get lean. You look like dog poop. Just get lean. But meanwhile, he's kind of saying, well, like, he has clients that went from 60% body fat down to 30, and all of a sudden, like, they have no sex drive, they have no motivation, they're depressed, they can't sleep. But a lot of bodybuilders, and like Coach Greg specifically talks about like your natural genetic set point. Like, everyone's body wants to be in a certain body fat percentage range, and you guys out there, if you know what I'm talking about, if you've dieted to a point that's below your quote unquote body's natural set point range, you might not have any energy, you have no sex drive, you're just kind of pissed off all the time. This could be from dieting too hard and too quick and your body's not used to it. So I've noticed I actually went from 240 pounds to 180, and I kind of think back, sometimes I'm like, was my sex drive really low? Like, I don't really remember like all of a sudden feeling really low energy. I do remember it was like pretty drastic, like going from like 240 and dropping all the weight. Like, it felt drastic, it felt like it was happening really quickly. But I don't think I felt like these crazy effects. I don't think most people typically feel these crazy effects that they were saying in the video until they get like under 15%. But I think once you get lower, apparently, you can feel like total dog shit. Just try to love your body. Try to do the best you can. Don't always think you need to be like 10% body fat, absolutely shredded to the gills. Just do the best you can do. And they admit it. Like, Coach Greg knows that like he looks like how he looks and he loves how he looks. But he knows it's not attainable for a lot of people being at 9%. And the last thing I want to get into is how the hell does Coach Greg post 2 videos a day?
Videos that you make, you're pumping out 2 a day. But we were talking the other day. You said you were filming straight videos from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., right? So that's probably like 12 vids or whatever, however many that may be.
No, between videos, there's a shit ton of research. There's a lot of research. There's a video, then there's research, plan it out, watch these things, set it up, and then another video. So it's not like just. I think I've done 7 videos in one day at one point. That's the most I've ever done.
I'm gonna tell you guys, it's a lot of work. By the time you think of an idea, record it, edit it, and post it. Posting it actually takes more than you think. You have to upload it, wait for it to load, put tags, put a title, shout it out to your friends on Instagram. This guy's putting out 2 videos a day. My goal is to put out 2 videos a week. So he's putting out 2 videos a day. And everyone thinks, oh, Coach Greg's like, he's a naturally just like yells at the screen. He has unlimited ideas. This guy told us in the podcast, like you just heard, that the most he recorded in one day is like 7 videos. So that means this guy's like basically recording every day. Sometimes he's feeling it and he keeps it rolling, but you still have to give the man some credit. He's just constantly sitting there thinking of ideas, doing research, and spitting out facts. Like, at the end of the day, that's my highlights of MogCast 17. I'm just being honest. They talked a lot about steroids that I don't know a lot about, so I didn't get into that. But overall, it was pretty much cut and dry. They talked about a lot of nutrition stuff. They talked about the Anabar. So those are my highlights. I'd love for you guys to subscribe, hit the like button if you like this style of content. I plan on reviewing all the MogCasts as they come out, or ones that I find particularly interesting. Hope you guys have a good one. Until next time, catch you later.